When you launch the Certify CA Plex Learn process, you will see the Test Execute icon appear near your system clock. To start the process, right-click on the icon and select Run. Alternatively, you can use the shortcut of Shift F3. When you run the process, the first screen that you will see shows the processes available for selection. In this particular case, we're going to be testing this RIS2 application, and we'll be running it to learn this screen here entitled VP. The second screen shows the available windows for that application. In this particular case, we only have one that we're actually using. And that takes us to the next screen where we can select an anchor point. Anchor points help with dynamic content, which we don't actually have in this particular application, so we'll select Not Applicable. On the next screen, we'll get a list of all of the controls that we're going to be mapping, and we can see most of them have names that are appropriate to the control that they are covering. If you want to see which control it is, select the control and click the highlight button, and the control will flash briefly on the UI. In the case of Plex, sometimes the control names are not something that would easily identify it. We can use the Rename button here to rename that control to something that's logical. Make sure you highlight it to verify which control it is. You'll want to rename all of the controls that do not have a proper name that's easily recognizable. Again, use the highlight to verify which control it is before renaming it. And you can continue on through the remainder of the controls that don't actually have a name. Again, some already have a proper name, and you won't need to rename them. They're already named something that is easily recognizable. We're also going to want to rename the root object as something that identifies the particular screen that we're learning. In this case, we're learning mainly this one tab. The learn process can only learn what's visible on the screen, so we're going to be focusing on this tab. So we want to rename it to match the name of that tab. When you're finished with the renaming process, click Save, and the next screen that you'll see has a couple of pieces of information. The first would be the class. You don't need to change anything there. The second is the title, and you'll want to make sure that the title matches any possible title that would appear in the caption of the window. In this particular case, this information here that's highlighted is variable, so we want to replace that with a wildcard character in order to ensure forward compatibility. Lastly, this last piece of information is the unique identifier for the screen, and again, we want to rename it specific to the tab that we're learning. In some applications, this won't be necessary because the learn process will be running for the window, and the caption will match the window, and you only need the one learn with that particular name, so you don't need to rename this portion. Oftentimes, you won't need to do any changes in this particular window. Once you're ready there, select a location to save the map. give it a name that identifies it, and click Save. Once you've done that, a screen will display showing whether the process succeeded, in this case 100% success, and the learn process is complete.